Hello, how are you? Good afternoon. Good to see you. Hold on a sec, let me get this full screen somehow. There we go. There we go. Hi. How you doing? I'm hanging out in the kitchen today with Buttons the cat. She's roaming around on the floor. She'll probably jump up at a sort of prime moment onto the table, and we'll see her sort of whatever cats do, moving around, doing that sort of thing. So yeah, that's it. Hello. Anyway, it's good. It's good to see you. It's good to be joined by you. I'm Luke, as you probably know. It will all become clear what I'm doing in a minute. If you don't know, if this is your first time, this is sort of my weekly drop-in, my weekly chat, which I've named last week Books and Beer. I've been writing books this morning. I've got my Kindle next to me, which is important. And there's the beer. Gone for a Zubra this time because it's got a cool bison on it. I like pictures on the can. That's the most important thing. There we go. See it. Hi, Alison. It's great to see you in here. Thank you for popping by. Do make sure, don't be a stranger. Do make sure you say hello. There we go. I like that noise. Do make sure you say hello in the chat. The last couple of weeks have been really nice, actually. She's scratching on the door now. She wants to go outside. Hold on. Although she'll probably come back in 2 minutes and start scratching on the door again. But there we go. The last few weeks have been really good fun to sort of catch up with you, to have a conversation and let you know what I'm up to and what you're doing. And yeah, it's been really good, really good. I'm in Nottingham still. I've been here, second week I've been here. We'll be here another week or so, maybe 2 weeks, something like that, and then we'll be seeing what happens over the Christmas period, dependent on whatever's going on at that stage. But I will keep you posted. How are you doing? How have you been for the last week or so? Oh, the question I'm going to talk to you about today. I'm interested about this one. And remember, these are not just if you are watching live, if you're watching afterwards as well, because I realised that when I look back a couple of days later, there's always loads more views than people that watch live, like 3 or 4 times the amount. So I reckon a lot of people either watch back later who isn't in the right time for them or whatever. So make sure you put that in the comment as well, because I'm still interested to hear that. The question I'm talking about today is this: do you listen to podcasts? And if so, which ones? Is that something that do you listen to podcasts? I'm quite a big listener of podcasts, and I listen to podcasts about sort of with authors as well, other authors and publishing and whatever. But I also listen to podcasts with people that I find inspiring, related to travel and related to history and related to different places and all those sorts of things. So they can sort of link into my books, I find. So I'm interested in talking to you about those sorts of podcasts and whether or not, whether you'd be interested in me recommending you some, or whether you have got any to recommend me. I'm interested to see what you think. Alison says, liking the glass. Yes, Brewdog. I love drinking beer from a glass. It's much better than the can. I feel a bit more sophisticated doing it. So, if you've never seen me before, if you're wondering what is going on, let me explain. My name is Luke, and I'm an author of thrillers. I call them international thrillers because they're set in a different place, each book. And I wanted a way to sort of get in touch with people that read my books and share the things that I'm up to and talk about my writing process and answer questions about my upcoming books and all this sort of thing. So I do this every Wednesday, or most Wednesdays. I miss a few every now and again. I do these almost every Wednesday to talk to you about what I'm doing. Sometimes they last 5 minutes, sometimes they last 50 minutes. I am intending to get some other authors on here as well to talk to, but I haven't done that yet. I will do at some point. So yeah, pop in if you like, stay around if you like, jump in the comments and say hello if you want to. Alison's in there at the moment. It's nice to see her. She's telling me it's all going fine. If you want to jump in and say you're around, that's amazing too. But for me, it's just a time after a bit of a hard sort of writing day to sit down and have a beer and talk to you for a few minutes. So whatever is cool with you. Right. Reviews. Every week I do what I call a review of the week. Here we go. That's the right one. And it's really an opportunity for me to say thank you for all the reviews that I get left, because I appreciate every single one. I do make a habit of going through the various, well, she's not back yet, the cat, of going to the various websites and reading them. I don't see all of them. So if you leave a review and you'd like me to see it, send that over via email or Facebook or something, just to make sure that I get it. But I probably see most of them. There was a couple here that I'm going to share with you because I really like them. They're about Koh Tao, the novella. And I want to share these ones specifically because I'll tell you about that in a minute, but I want to share the reviews first. Great novel. I couldn't put it down. Leo and Maya are on vacation and Leo is looking to propose. Maya disappears and the local police arrest Omar, the worker at the resort where they're staying. The police want to close the case and do not care who is arrested. Do they even know if a crime has been committed? Where's Maya? Question mark. An excellent mix of storytelling with vivid descriptions. You'll not be able to put this book down. As the tension rises, you'll be thoroughly involved. All right, there we go. 2 reviews for Koh Tao. And the reason I wanted to share with you the Koh Tao ones is twofold. Number one, it's free at the moment. So if you've never had an opportunity to get involved in one of my books yet, you've not seen them before, or perhaps whatever reason, I don't know, this is a good place for you to start. It's free at the moment. You can go to that website, or if you prefer to use Amazon or Kobo or Barnes & Noble, one of the stores, it's free on there as well. So you can search in the store and find it. If you've read it already and haven't left a review for it, I would be massively appreciative of that, because it's the one I published most recently, only in August, so a couple of months back. Seems like years ago, doesn't it? But it is only, a couple of months ago. If you haven't left a review for it, I would be massively appreciative. The one in the US has only got 6 reviews I saw today, which isn't very many. I think you need to get into double figures really for people to be thinking, for people to notice. So I really want on Amazon, that is, on other retailers it counts in a different way. So yeah, I really would be pleased if you could do that. If you feel you can, that's amazing. If you're able to, that is fantastic. But at least get your free copy on there. That's the thing you need to do. Right. So what else was I going to talk to you about? Right, we're going to talk about podcasts in a minute. Got another comment coming in. Alison's talking about white wine to go with the white wine and garlic mussels and prawn dish for tonight's dinner. Wow, that sounds incredible. Did you buy the wine and invent the dish to go along with it? Or did you invent the dish and then it seems a bit of a coincidence there that you need wine for cooking, so you can finish it off as well. I'm respectful of that. That's brilliant. And Alison has also answered this question: do you listen to podcasts, and if so, what sort of podcasts? I'm interested in this because I was thinking of putting together for my for people on my mailing list a few podcasts that I find really inspiring, just particular episodes, like interviews with particular people who have sort of influenced me as a writer. It might be something that interests people, interests you. It might do, it might not. I thought about it. It's in my mind as something I might do, but but yeah, we'll see. So if you've got a thought on that comment, drop it in the comments. Thought on that question, drop it in the comments now, and I will get to it in a minute. We'll have a conversation about it in a minute. Martha says hello. I know Martha's hiding in the front room through there. I asked her to come and make an appearance, but she said no. She said she'd rather stay hidden because I'm in her kitchen at the moment. I've hidden out here for the day to get on with some writing. I'll go back to my house tomorrow, I think, get on with some bits and bobs there. Alison says the wine came first. I can understand that completely. By the way, hello if you're joining us on YouTube and Twitter. It's broadcast at me rambling this this off-topic rambling, as I did actually say on the picture, off-topic author chat is broadcast on YouTube and Twitter as well. And I don't think on YouTube and Twitter you see the comments on Facebook. So you'll see them come up on the screen, but I don't think you can see them. So don't think you're on your own. You know, it might just show that it's just you, but jump in and say hello if you'd like to. That'll be cool. Right. We're talking about this question. Do you listen to podcasts? If so, what ones? Let me know. Even if you're watching this afterwards, we'll put those in the comments. Okay, in 2 weeks' time, this book, New York, is released. Do I have the cover? There it is. Yes, I love this cover. It's so cool, isn't it? It's so cool. In just over 2 weeks, New York is set to be released. I'm really pleased with it. I've got the feedback now from a few people that read it pre-release for me. They're really pleased with it as well. I'm really excited for it to be out. You can pre-order your copy now on that link /New York. I'm going to set up, actually, I think the week before, I'm going to do a Facebook Live every day, I reckon. What do you think about that? Actually, I'll ask you. You're watching me on Facebook. Is that something that interests you? Do you think you'd watch if I did one every if I did sort of one every day, or do you think you wouldn't watch? Let me know. Let me know. Hold on a sec. I'm going to just change something for a moment. Oh, hold on a moment. Hey, right. I think I've just changed something so that it goes on a different way. Shouldn't make too much difference. Is that something that would interest you, doing like I was thinking of doing like a different, planning it, so I talked about a different part of the story each time or something like that. Not sure yet, but I did it for Berlin and I quite enjoyed it, because by Friday, which it will release on Friday the 18th, that's the important news, Friday the 18th of December, by Friday a load of people had listened all week, and it was quite nice, wasn't it? I know you were there actually, Alison, weren't you? We were talking on that, and when I did the Friday, I sort of launched it on the show, and everyone was there. It's good. Hello, if you've just joined us. My name is Luke. I'm talking about my books and drinking beer, which is why I call this Random Chat Books and Beer. Alison asks, what am I reading at the moment? Good question, actually. What am I reading at the moment? I'm actually reading one of Dave Berens's books, and I know Dave because he designs my covers. He designed this cover right here. There it is. He designed this cover right here, and he done a few books with Steve, and I saw he's done a cozy mystery series. They look like cozy mysteries, and I've started reading the first chapter or so of that, and I've quite enjoyed it actually. Quite different to my writing, much more, you know, they're set in Key West, so it's got quite I've not been to Key West, but I think it's quite a sort of small town sort of feel. I've really enjoyed it, yeah. New one. I think it's the third in the series that I'm reading. I've just jumped straight in with book 3. What about you, Alison? What are you reading? Alison says, yes, it was a great idea. Do it again. Yeah, good. That's what I like to hear. I'm going to read you the blurb for New York as well, actually. And if you haven't pre-ordered your copy, there it is. Do it now. Hold on a sec. Let me just navigate across to. I've got it on a different browser. New York. Here we go. Right. Let's get that cover back up on the screen too, so you can see what we're talking about. Lots to do. There we go. So yeah, New York, it's out on the 18th of December. So get that in your diary. Remember that date. And the week before, I will be doing some special things here on Facebook, YouTube, sort of live, to tell you about the book. I might read a couple of the first couple of chapters. Not sure exactly what yet. I've got a few photos that I've taken from New York that I might share when I visited, although there's probably, you know, 20 decent ones, but we can talk through them. If you've been to New York, I'd be interested to hear from you, and we talk about the sort of places you went and your feeling of the place as well, because it is a big tourist place, isn't it? A lot of people have been. So here we go. A serial killer stalks the streets. The city lives in fear. The winter of terror is here. Heading to New York for a much needed holiday, Andy and Emma hope some quality time will put their relationship back on track. But when Andy wrecks his car in the Lincoln Tunnel and then disappears, it's clear the city that never sleeps has other plans. Teaming up with New York PI Nikki Zadid, Leo and Alyssa search the city. But this isn't just another case. Emma's Leo's sister. He knew they were having problems and should have done more to help. When their investigation entangles with the plans of an unhinged killer, things become more complex and dangerous than any had imagined. The trio must navigate the city, from elite hangouts to dingy back streets, without falling foul of a murderer with a sickening endgame in mind. New York is Luke Richardson's 5th fiery international thriller. Grab your copy to continue this series today. So that is on pre-order at the moment on the address on the screen. And it's out on the 18th of December, which I'm really excited about. And as I say, I'll talk more about that sort of just before it's released. Hello, someone's just liked it with like a crying face. I've obviously said something that's quite upsetting. Sorry, that person. Hello, if you've just joined us, welcome. I'm Luke and I'm talking about my writing and drinking beer. I've called this Facebook Live and YouTube live chat Books and Beer. I thought it was fair that the books went first, though. Jump in the comments, say hello, tell me what you're up to, what you're doing, if you're drinking anything, you know. It's always nice to say hello, and we're talking about this question in a moment. Do you listen to podcasts? If so, what sort of podcasts? And going further than that, would you be interested if I put together for people on my mailing list like a few podcasts that I find really inspiring? Because I quite like the interview podcast where it's someone who has got a real specialist subject. You know what I mean? They're really knowledgeable about one particular thing. They're interviewed on that. And yeah, there's quite a fascinating, all sorts of topics, not just things that are related to my books, really. Some of them are writers, actually, and some of them aren't. A lot of them have a travel aspect because travel's a big thing for me. Is that something that would interest you? That's what I'm thinking about. Because if I'm thinking about you guys first, obviously. That's the sort of person I am. Right. Alison's reading Stuart McBride, The Coffin Maker's Garden. I've heard of Stuart McBride. Yeah, I've not read any of his books though. Is it good? Are you enjoying it? It's got a great title, that as well. Alison says, in regard to the question here, Crime Waves is an excellent podcast. I've recently been listening to Stuart and Kerry's news and reviews. Is Crime Waves like a true crime podcast? Because that's a massive thing, isn't it, in podcasting? There's all these, true crime, whodunit, mysterious things of times gone by. I think I follow Stuart and Kerry's news and reviews on Facebook as well. That's a books one, isn't it? They talk about book reviews and that sort of thing. I think anyway. Let me know, Alison. Let me know what you're thinking. So that's our question. I'm not going to talk for that much longer this afternoon. So if you're watching this in the future, wow, first. But let me know what you think, because as I say, I'm interested in putting something like that together, perhaps for people that are on my mailing list. If you're not on that mailing list, I'd love you to be. That's where you need to go and do that, LukeRichardsonAuthor.com, where I share all sorts of things. It's similar to this, I suppose. It's similar to what I do here. I'm probably more regular with my mailing list. I do that at least once or twice a week, and I talk about all, everything relating to my writing, all those sorts of things. Right. I'll show you that question one more time. If you have any thoughts on that, let me know. Put that in the comments, and I will get back to you. We'll have a conversation about that in the coming week or so. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Zubra. Have a great evening, and I'll see you again very soon.